Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adeze and I'm a mommy blogger from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. If you're seeing my face for the first time, welcome. And if you're already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for subscribing. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a story time video. I'm going to tell you all basically how I went through infertility struggles. Like, I really don't know how to tell this story because it's quite long and it's something I've really never sat down to really articulate. Like, I've never sat down to either write down my story or really tell someone the story from the beginning to end, like in a coherent manner. Most times when I gist people about it, it's just when we're just gisting and talking. But today I want to tell you guys my struggle and what I went through those 4 years. My channel basically is about motherhood, family, you know. I always talk about childcare and all that, but people don't know that for 4 good years I was really hoping and praying and wanting, and you know, I just really wanted a child badly. Now that I look back, it wasn't really that long. It was just 4 years. Some people have stayed 10 years, some people have stayed 15 years, you know, and I'm really grateful to God that mine was just 4 years and I have my 2 beautiful babies. If you don't know them, they are Kora and Ava. Kora is 3 years and Ava is 1. Ava, they were both born in February, so Ava was born like a week after Kora, birthday wise. I'm kind of sweating. That's because the weather is really hot. So for anyone who has gone through that struggle, let me tell you, infertility struggle is not for the faint-hearted. It is really stressful mentally. It takes a toll on you mentally, physically. You know, it's not something that I would wish on even my enemy. Like me and my mom used to say that even our enemies should at least have one. Let them have one. Like, I don't want anybody to go through it because you feel so much I don't know how to explain it, but you feel a lot of disappointment. Disappointment is something you experience on a daily basis. Like, I remember then every month when my period comes, it's like, oh my god, I used to cry. Like, my husband would say, why are you crying? I'll be like, my period has come again. It was really bad. Sometimes you feel like your body has failed you. You feel like in my own case, okay, let me just start the story from the beginning, right? So when I got married in 2011, December 2011. That was when I got married. It was just shortly after I graduated from university. So I wasn't really thinking about children anyway. I got married because I wanted to get married. I wasn't getting married because, oh, I want to get married and start having kids immediately. Having kids was something I knew, okay, I was going to have kids, but it wasn't something I was really like so particular about initially. And the first year, I really didn't want kids the first year because I was feeling like, I'm still young, I'm a baby girl, I want to just I used to tell my husband that I'm just a girl, please don't call me woman. I don't like when people call me Mrs. Jidon. I'm like, which Mrs? You know, I used to say that I'm just a girl, that I just want to enjoy my first year of marriage and I just want to have fun, that I'll start trying to have kids after a year. Okay, so in my first year of marriage, I wasn't really trying, but I wasn't preventing it either. I was just like going with the flow. But you know, now after 6 months, although I wasn't trying, after 6 months I was like, what's happening now? I'm supposed to, you know. But I didn't feel anyhow about it. I didn't feel like, oh, I really wanted it or whatever. I was just fine, right? So as the first year was, you know, coming to an end, as I said, you know, it started like affecting me, kind of like, it now became something that I started thinking about, like, why am I not pregnant? Why has it not happened, you know? But I didn't do anything about it. I didn't go to the hospital until the 2nd year. So the 2nd year, I remember going to the hospital. I talked to the doctor, told him about my story. The doctor asked me, okay, how long have you been married? How long have you been trying this, that? Have you had any health issues in the past, blah 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 blah. They asked me to tell them my medical history, and I told them. So the doctor said, oh well, it happens for many couples. They don't get pregnant in the first year. So, but if you really want it, I'll like you to do some tests. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm ready to do any tests to see if there's anything wrong. Little did I know that was going to be the beginning of all the tests and procedures I was going to go through. Okay, I did hormonal tests and scans. So he did the scans for me. That's something that you do on a particular day for them to check your follicles, check if you are ovulating, blah blah blah. I did everything, and at the end of all the procedures, they told me ma'am, you are fine, there's nothing wrong with you, we don't see any significant issues with your hormones or whatever, your eggs are fine, your wombs are fine. They told me just keep trying, it will happen, just be patient. When you remove your mind from it, it will happen. Please, that's advice. In fact, in this video, I'm going to be telling people who are just, you're not going through it, but you know someone that's going through it, things not to say to people that are TTC. TTC is trying to conceive. There are things that you shouldn't be saying to them. Don't be telling them things like, when you remove your mind from it, it will happen. How do you remove your mind from something that is your reality? Like, everywhere you go, you see children. Everywhere you go, people remind you that you don't have children. So why do you tell me when you remove? How do you remove your mind from it? So don't tell them when you remove your mind from it, it will happen. Instead, try to help them remove their mind from it by having fun with them or whatever, or doing what will make them remove their mind from it. But don't tell them, oh, remove your mind from it, because to me that's really, it's really a wrong advice. Or, well, it's not a wrong advice, but it's kind of insensitive to tell someone just remove your mind from it, it will happen. Like, it's not easy to remove your mind from it. Anyway, so I'm ranting now. Anyway, so procedure, the guy told me, you talked to me, you are fine, blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. I said, okay, fine. I tried again, another year passed. I went back to the doctor kept, now the doctor wasn't there again. I went to different doctors. That was when I started seeing different doctors. I'll come this time, they'll say this doctor is around, go and see that doctor, he's a specialist in it. I'll go to the doctor, he will do tests upon tests upon tests. Madam, you're fine. So basically those 4 years, what I had was what they refer to as unexplained infertility or undiagnosed infertility, meaning that you're not having kids within the normal range of time. Because I heard for young couples, I think below 35 or so, it should be after a year of trying. So after a year of trying, if you don't have kids, that's when they can start, you know, all those probing and all that. But for older couples, it's after 6 months of trying, you know. So in my own case, they said, and then I was just 23. Yeah, I got married at 23. So I got married at 22 plus. So yeah, I was 23 when I got married anyway. So I was really young. So the doctors were really, they didn't have anything to say to me. Like, each time I went to, at some point I got tired of going to the doctors, because each time I went to the doctors, after everything, I'll hear the same story. Like, there's nothing wrong with you, you're fine, all your eggs are fine. So it continued that way until they said, okay, they have to check my fallopian tubes to be sure that all was fine with it. That was when I went for a really painful procedure. It's called the HSG. I read up about it. They told me, I saw many people saying, some people were saying it's painful, some people said it's not so painful. Some said if you take painkillers before the procedure, you won't really feel it, while some said, yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable. When I went for that HSG procedure, it was really, I can't really explain it. That was when I started feeling really bad about my situation. First of all, you are doing the procedure on one table. I felt like a guinea pig. Like, I don't know, I felt like some kind of cow. I don't know. I just came in, I was naked. They'll give you that robe that you tie at the back, that office hospital gown you tie at the back. But when it's time for the procedure, you have to remove the gown or something. I can't remember. But I was just naked on the cold table with lights everywhere, lights and machines everywhere. It was like I was about to undergo one very serious operation or something. I don't even know how to explain it. Basically, what HSG is they inject dye into your tubes, and then they use like an x-ray that reads that dye or whatever. The dye just shows them if there's any blockage in your tubes. The result came out, your tubes are fine, everything about you is fine. Madam, just go and calm down and wait. This was year 3 or so. No, this was 2 years after, like 2 to 3 years after. That's when they told me this one. And I was really like, no, I don't. I was already tired of just waiting every month. And you know, the bad thing about waiting is that there are some months that your period will actually delay for no reason. Your period will delay. For me, some people said sometimes your period delays because you get chemical pregnancies, like you lose the pregnancy before you even find out or something, whatever. My period will delay. I'll be so hopeful only for my period to come, and I'll start crying. I'll break down crying. I'll feel so sad about myself. Now let me tell you the stupid thing that happened to me, that now that I think about it, I'm like, what rubbish, like what rubbish. And when it happened to me, because I was desperate, I didn't say anything. I knew it was a really uncomfortable situation, but I didn't really say anything. Now you guys should listen. Now I went to this doctor that was saying, okay, that he has to check me to be sure that my womb is okay or so. So they had to do vaginal ultrasound for me. Is it vaginal ultrasound they call it? Yeah, the ultrasound where they have to insert one long something that has, I don't know, one long thing. They have to insert it into you, then they will be reading it on the screen. So while the guy inserted it was kind of painful for me, and it was painful for me anyway. I don't know if the pain was imaginary or it was real, but it was really painful for me because they have to really go in there and really like make sure the thing reads properly. I just had to hold myself so that the guy would get accurate results. So when he was done, he was trying to bring it out, and I was like, because it was really painful. Do you know what this doctor said to me? He now laughed and said, hey, oh, okay, so should I leave it there? Are you enjoying it? Should I leave it there? And he was laughing, saying this rubbish. So when he said that, I was really offended, but in my mind I was like, I need this guy to help me. So I didn't say anything, and I just kept it. So that's just tell you what women go through with doctors. So don't think that all doctors are whatever. Doctors are still human beings, so anything can happen. Anyway, so in my fourth year, I hope I'm telling this story well. Anyway, in my third year this time, I met two doctors. I think I kept going back and forth between the doctors. Sometimes both of them will come to read my results. They gave me one drug, Clomid, to stimulate ovulation, so that they will see my eggs and whatever, and did some other tests, did some hormone profiling or whatever. So after I did it, one doctor just said that, madam, everything is fine with you, they can't really see anything wrong, the eggs are okay, blah blah blah, don't worry, it will happen. So the second doctor now was the person that they scheduled me to see next, as a follow-up. They scheduled me to see the second doctor. So when I came back to see this man, doctor, he came and said, oh madam, I don't really know you. I said, okay, yes, I'm the person that came the last time, blah blah. I told you my story basically. He said, oh okay, yes, I remember you, yes, and hey, I wanted to tell you something. There's something I even have to tell you. I went through your document, something I have to tell you. I said, okay, what is it? Because my mind, I was like, oh, he wants to tell me something that you know, whatever, something. He now told me, see, let me just tell you, you cannot have children except you do IVF. What? Excuse me? Now remember, I have not done any other kind of intervention, right? I've not done any insemination, whatever they call the other ones. I've not done any other thing. They're not even giving me drugs to try and see if I can, fertility drugs or whatever. Like, I've not tried any other thing. The guy just told me, see, let me just tell you, I don't want you to waste your time here. The truth of the matter is, I've looked at your documents and you cannot have children except through IVF. As I was still trying to digest what this man was telling me, do you know this man wrote down a name on a paper, Dr. one thing, I've forgotten the name, Dr. something. Wrote down this thing on the paper and gave it to me and told me, call this with his number, call this doctor, and then we'll schedule you for an appointment so that you can do your IVF and have your child, because without it you cannot have children. I just said, okay, thank you. And he was like, make sure you call. I said, okay, no, I'll call. As I stood up from this man's office chair, I started crying. Like, I was crying on the road though, because from where the clinic is to where I didn't have a car then, so from where the clinic is to where I'll take a cab was kind of far, and I didn't want to wait for any, they have some shuttles or whatever. I didn't want to wait. I was just walking on the road, bawling my eyes out. I was crying and walking. I saw a cab, I flagged the cab down. I was like, take me to my house. I told him my address then. I told him my area that he should take me to. The guy kept saying, madam, are you okay? I just said, just take me. How much is it? He was talking, okay. That was how this guy dropped me at home. I paid him and cried till I got to my bed. I kept on crying. Now, why I was crying is, don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against IVF. For me, IVF is like a very good thing. Thank God we have IVF. Some people know I've had kids now if they did not do IVF, you know. I'm not against it in any single way, okay? And it's not like we couldn't afford it. We could actually afford to do IVF at that point, but it was like my dreams and hopes were just shattered. Trust me, nobody goes through life saying I'll get married at 23 and then after that I'll use IVF to have my children or whatever. Like, it's not something that comes to your mind, especially at that age. So at that age, it wasn't something I was looking forward to at all. It was a really sad news for that guy to give me, and the way he even gave me the news, so insensitive. Like, he wasn't even as if he was talking to in fact, it was really terrible. That man, to me, I still feel like that man was sponsored by the devil. Because when I came back home and after I cried and everything, and I called my husband, when I was not at home, I called him and told him what happened. He said, I've told you. Because my husband, from day one, I'll give it to him, from day one, he has always maintained that we're going to have kids. He kept telling me, you are going to have kids. I don't know why you're worrying yourself. I tried there when I started crying about my period. He said, why are you worrying yourself? You're going to have children. Just rest, just relax. You know, and truly I tried to relax. It's not like I was crying all day every day. Like, there are sometimes that I was just like tell myself, whatever, when it to happen, it will happen, for like 2 seconds. After 2 seconds, I'm like, God, I want children. And at that period too, part of why I didn't really listen to what he was saying was I just felt like it wasn't affecting him as much as it was affecting me, because you're a guy, nobody's asking you anything, you know. Although recently I started to believe that maybe they were actually asking him too, but he didn't really have any stories. He didn't really tell me anything about anybody asking him or anybody making some kind of insensitive comments to him. And that takes me to another part: the comments people make to women who are TTC. See, this one is very, very important. Like, if you don't take anything from this video, just take this particular one. Please and please, if you see a woman that is married and doesn't have kids, do not ask her, when are you having kids? This is the kind of comment I was getting. Oh, when are you going to have your kids? And now, wow, you're just fine up and down. You're just doing shakaraya and your husband. You are just forming this thing. Better go and have children. No, I kept having better. No, one kept telling me, I hope you're not preventing it. The way I see you, you want to flex with your husband, you'll be preventing it. Don't prevent it. Though. Like, excuse me, madam, is it your business even if I'm trying to prevent it? Like, did we have any agreement that when I get married I'll have kids at the same time or at a particular time? Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong? Why are you making such useless comments to me? It doesn't make sense. Then some people will say, Ada, how are you? Maybe someone I've not seen in a while. Ada, how are you now? Where are your children now? You don't have kids. As in, I'm not making this thing up. I'm telling you what people actually said to me, like, live. After the man told me that I was going to have, I can't have kids without IVF, I went home, I told myself I'm going to try again. I didn't try again. I didn't go to the hospital for anything. In fact, actually, I rested by fault. Maybe it was even God that made him tell me that rubbish so that I will rest. Because that period, I was to myself, okay, fine, if it's IVF, fine. But I wasn't planning to do the IVF anytime soon. So I said, okay, no, wahala. So I just woke up one morning and I just told myself that I need to go back to that hospital and I need to see another doctor, and I'm going to insist that I see someone else. And if I see that terrible doctor that told me that rubbish, I'm going to give him the talk of his life. Like, I was really hot and ready that day. I told myself that today I'm going to find out if there's something wrong with me or not. So I went to the hospital that day. Unfortunately, because the way my hospital works, you have to book for the doctor you want to see. Especially if you want to see a specialist, you have to book ahead of time. But I didn't book, and I just woke up that morning and started going to the hospital. So when I got there, they directed me to a pediatrician instead of a gynae. They told me that the gynae was booked. That do I really want to see a doctor that day? I said yes, I want to see a doctor. They said okay, that the only doctor available was the pediatrician. Irony, right? Irony, right? I should see a pediatrician. I said, oh well, I will see him like that. So that was how I went and saw the pediatrician. I told him my whole story. And you know, the funny thing about this whole TTC thing is, each doctor you go to, you have to start telling your story from the beginning. Like, you have to start everything. Even when they don't ask you, tell them. So I told him my story from the beginning. I told him everything. He now told me, the man started advising me again, the same advice I give everybody. Well, I appreciate the advice anyway, because truly, if I had taken their advice, maybe the experience wouldn't have been so painful. Maybe, you know, he kept advising me about there's this woman that didn't have children for how many years, now she has her own kids, blah blah blah, that I should just try and let go and let God, that God will do it for you, that all these things, sometimes there's no explanation for it. Because I told him that nothing, he said sometimes no explanation for it, that don't start beating yourself up thinking that it's something you did or something you not do, that sometimes it just happens like that and you just have to accept it. you know. I said, okay, no problem, no problem. In my mind, I was like, you are just, yeah, that's what you're saying. It was just flying over my head. Because when I came to the hospital that day, I told myself that today I must get the answers I want. I didn't even know the answers I was waiting for, but I know that what he was saying was not what I wanted to hear. It wasn't the answer I was looking for. You know, I knew when I hear the answer, I will know. So when the guy finished talking, the guy said, so do you really want, is there anything you want me to do for you? I said, yes, I want to do a full body checkup. As in, I just want to check myself, just check up the normal cholesterol, all those things, BP, blah 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 blah, blood sugar. I want to do that one because I didn't want it to look like I just came to hear story and go back. So to come and hear counseling and go back. So the guy said, okay, he now wrote all the tests for me, told me to go to the lab and do that. So I went to the lab, they took my blood and everything. Instead of me to go home for where, I went back to where they do the booking. I told them, see that I saw the pediatrician, but like he really cannot help me. I want to see a gynae. Thankfully, I know it's God that did that. There was someone that did not make her appointment. So they said, okay, that the doctor has been fully booked, but there's someone that has not come. I think the person was supposed to come around that time as I was standing there. That person has not come. That would I like to use that time? I was like, are you still asking? This aeroplane, I'll be helicopter, like you cannot see that I'm gisting somebody something. Anyway, so I was like, are you still asking? As they gave me the time like this, I took them and started running to our office before they would say, madam, wait, it's not your I didn't want to hear stories. So as I got there, I met the doctor. It was a female doctor. All of us have been meeting prior to this time were male doctors. So I went to female and I was like, thank God there's even a female doctor. And the woman, I really love that woman. She's a white married to a Nigerian. But this woman, let me tell you, apart from skin color, that woman is a Niger woman. Like the way she talks, she speaks pidgin. You know, she speaks pidgin with an accent, but she's a Niger woman, you know. So when I met her, I started telling her my whole story again from the beginning and ended with the doctor told me that I cannot have kids without IVF. She was like, excuse me, which doctor is that? I was like, as she sat down, I was like, now I'm getting the answer that I wanted. I was like, now you're speaking my language. Because the other pediatrician was busy, I don't know, forming a counselor there. Did I tell you that I came for therapy? She just said, why would he tell you that you have to do IVF? Did you do any other procedure? I said, no. There's so many procedures that I should have done before ending up with IVF. That anyway, let's not dwell on that. Thank God I've already come. She asked me, were you diagnosed with PCOS? I said no. She now said, okay, so that means they checked on my I think she even went through my files. Yes, because she went through my files. She now said, okay, we're not diagnosed with PCOS, everything is fine, but she's going to assume that I have something related to PCOS, like a hormonal issue, and then she's going to give me certain drugs. That was how she gave me those drugs to take. Lo and behold, I didn't even take the main one because she gave me 2 different drugs. I didn't take the main one that she gave me to take. I just took the one that was more like supplements to help my hormones. That's what I took. And that same month, I got pregnant. Although I lost the baby, that was my first miscarriage. So you can imagine that just that little drug. The drug, I even went, because I remember one time I went to buy the drug myself. I didn't want to go to hospital. Normally, I'll go to hospital and they'll give me refills. But that time, I didn't want to go to hospital. I just went into a pharmacy and asked for the drug. That drug cost just 1.5. Like, and the 1.5 is for, I think, 15 or 30. One a day. Yeah, 500 milligrams. So 500 milligrams of a drug of 1.5 is what somebody saw me and told me that I cannot have children without IVF. IVF of millions of naira. I would have paid millions of naira for an IVF that I could have just paid 1.5 to get. In fact, anyway, I lost the baby. In fact, I started miscarrying naturally at home. So when I just saw the blood at home, I just knew that this baby is already coming out. So I went to the hospital and they now did, they gave me one drug to expel the baby. That was like the saddest period of my life. Like, imagine after 4 years, you now have a miscarriage. It was so sad. Like, it was a really sad period for me. Like, I was trying to be strong. I didn't want to act like it was really paining me, but it was really like, because it happens to me sometimes when I'm facing serious trauma, I tend to shut down. So I might be like one cold, heartless person, but the truth is that I'm trying to protect myself. I feel my body is just trying to protect me from really losing it. So most times when I'm under serious trauma, I just shut down. So you can imagine in the hospital. So while I was there with miscarriage going on, I don't know whether they forgot, because I was in like a general ward. I don't know if they forgot. They now brought a woman beside me who just gave birth. So like the cubicle beside me, there was a woman there. She just gave birth and they brought her baby in. The moment I just turned and saw the woman and heard her baby crying, that was when I now lost it. I started crying. I was like, God. So this woman is going home with her baby while me, I'm going home nothing. I was so sad. I was really sad. Like that experience was not something that I want to experience again. So imagine, so what I was trying to say, after this, during this experience, because before, when I was going for all those 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks check, I was working then. I was working in the bank then. So I had this team lead. I didn't want to tell her my story because the woman was cold-hearted in the first place. So I didn't want to tell her my story. I didn't want to tell her the story at all. At this period, I kept having severe tummy ache. And I was like, is this part of pregnancy? I read somewhere some people said they used to have tummy ache in pregnancy, but this tummy ache was just, sometimes I would wake up in the morning, I can't move, like the pain would be so intense. So those periods when I used to wake up with those pains, I used to just send her a text or I'll call her and tell her that I can't come to work today because of I'm going through something. It wasn't really like, I think I did just twice. It was just twice I did that, yeah. It was just twice. So, was it even up to twice? Yeah, it was just twice I did it. When this miscarriage was now happening, because I was admitted, so I think the miscarriage happened on a Friday. So I was admitted on a Saturday, Sunday, Monday I was still in the hospital. So on Monday I called my friends and told them, my colleagues at work, and told them that, see, I won't be able to come, look at what's happening to me. And I told they were really close, my close friends. I told them what happened to me. I told my team member to go and tell my team leader, look at what's happening to me, and to tell them that I won't be coming, so they will give me permission not to come into work. Do you know when my friend went to tell this team lead what happened to me? And anybody that knows me knows this. When I go through traumatic stuff, when I go through anything, I don't like to tell anybody about it. I'm not the kind of people that like to share their problems with the whole world. Like me, in fact, anytime things happen to me, I become very quiet. I kind of withdraw from the rest of the world. In fact, during that period when I was going through all this, like throughout those 4 years, I lost a lot of friends. I wasn't calling my relatives. In fact, some of them will call me if I see their call. Like, I'm not going to pick. I'm not going to call back. Even when I miss their calls, I'm not going to call back, because that period I was just withdrawn from the whole world because I was going through a lot. So I don't like to share my problems until I've overcome them. Do you understand? So I like to share my victories, not my problems. I don't believe in problem shared is a problem half solved or whatever. I don't believe it. A problem shared with the right person that can help you. So like a problem, if a fertility problem shared with your GP, a fertility problem shared with your gynae is a problem half solved. But if a fertility problem shared with your colleagues is not a problem half solved, please, nobody should tell me that trash. It does not work that way. So personally, I didn't like telling anybody about it. But I just had to say, because I had to stay away from work for an extended period of time. So I didn't want it to be like she just left work for nothing. So imagine for me to open my mouth and tell someone, okay, help me tell this woman this. You know what this woman said? Is she the first? Is that why she won't come to work? Is she the first? Please, we have to do better, please. Don't be saying some kind of useless things to people. Don't like have filter. Just because something pops out into your brain doesn't mean that it must come out of your mouth. Apart from the comments I got, apart from that one that said that one was outright mean, like, is she the first? Like, so is she the first? Apart from that one, because someone said a child that cannot survive in the womb, how do you expect such child to survive in life on earth? I can't remember how she said it. A child that cannot survive in the womb cannot survive out on earth or something. Useless comments. How is that supposed to console a mother who has lost her child? How? Like, explain the consolation. Apart from the pain of not getting your child, apart from the pain of going through all these procedures, I think one of the biggest things that affects people that are going through TTC or going through infertility struggles is comments from people. Like, if people can just keep quiet and allow people do their thing in peace, a lot of people will be happier. After that whole experience, at the 3rd month, I confirmed pregnancy. That was when I was pregnant with Kora. Okay, So guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have anyone who is trying to conceive, you can give them this video so that they can learn one or two things from my story. If you're out there trying to conceive, just hang in there. Just, you know, always seek other people's opinion. Like, imagine if I had just taken what that guy had told me, that if I don't do IVF I won't have children. Imagine if I had taken that advice, maybe I wouldn't have had children by now, because IVF cycles, they won't fail. So, you know, so just try and seek another opinion. Try and do things that will make you happy. Travel, you know, take care of your body, take care of your health, spend time with people that you love. You know, just don't allow it. It's very difficult. This thing I'm saying is very difficult. Saying don't allow it weigh you down is a very difficult thing, but just try. I just pray for you that you get your heart desires. God will meet you at the point of your need. Very soon you hear a cry of a baby in your house. Very soon you're going to have your child in your arms. I really pray and wish that for every single person that is trying to conceive out there, because there are a lot of really good people, really good, you know, really good people who really want children and can't have children. It's really sad. Thank you so much for watching. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please click the red subscribe button there and the notification button so that you'll be alerted when I drop a new video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.